Hey, what is up YouTube? So we're going to talk about client number 4, which was actually another developer. So how did I team up with this developer? If you want to stack the deck in your favor, you need to be making your presence known and giving value without expecting anything in return. Giving value for the joy of helping fellow developers out, helping other people out with their websites in the forums. As you may already know if you've been following this series, I at that time was building sites using WordPress and elegant themes. And over the course of a couple of years, because I'd been building my own sites prior to becoming a freelance developer, I would often run into problems and I would hit the Elegant Themes forum. This is their website. And I would slowly pick up that there are these other support agents. So here's an example of a guy who's he's in trouble. He's stuck on this and he's asking for support. And here we have myself chiming in, offering him a solution, and here's an Elegant Themes support agent. These agents would sometimes ask for the person to private message them if the level of support that the person needed went beyond what Elegant Themes offer, and so they're getting paid for giving this kind of support. And so I thought that I would just approach this like a side project. I would spend half an hour a day. I would log in and I would give value and support where I could. I like being the hero. I like being the one that comes and saves the day. And if you're solving an issue for someone who doesn't know HTML and CSS, as far as they're concerned, you're a wizard. So, and my ego kind of likes that. But this is the thing. This is how I teamed up with this developer. So he was needing support. I chimed in, gave a solution, and then a couple of days later, he private messaged me. He was an employee at I believe it was a medical insurance company, and the thing with some of these companies, when they're starting out in the beginning, they'll look at their team and they'll ask, hey, I'm assuming this is how it goes. I pretty much know this is how it goes from conversations I've had with people who work at companies. They look at the team and they say, hey, does anyone have some web development knowledge? And if someone in the team has a little bit of knowledge, they may opt to have them build the site using a site builder, usually Wix, Squarespace or WordPress, as a way to cut costs. So he'd been put in this position. His official role wasn't that of a web developer, but he had found himself responsible for building this website, and he was having trouble with the header, getting the logo, and they wanted like a specific graphic across the page, and so he hired me to help him out with that. It became an ongoing relationship, and I think he was trying his hand at doing web development projects on the side. He would later hire me on his other web development projects to help him out with. It was usually custom jQuery. But let's get stuck into what it is I actually learned. Well, one of the things is around that time was aware of a platform that clients were using to track to track what the developer was actually doing. So it would screencast the developer at work, the client could log in, and the idea is that it gives them peace of mind that this developer that they've just met, that they don't know a lot about, it gave them peace of mind that the developer was actually doing work. So I figured, yeah, I'm going to do this. I want this guy to know that I'm putting the hours in. So I offered to screencast the work, and I ended up with this big, massive 3 GB file, and then I didn't know how to get it to him. I didn't want to post it on YouTube as a private link. Anyway, he wasn't bothered. He was happy that I was a trustworthy guy. So how did he get that I was a trustworthy person? Well, I don't know. But I have my own inclining. Okay, I'm mixing my words up, but here's the deal. It's the small margins that make the difference. For example, here's my Elegant Themes profile. There's a clear headshot of me. Okay, the username isn't great. I wasn't on that level though when I opened up the account, but I always start, and this is how I start my emails to clients as well, especially in the beginning. You can become more relaxed later on, but in the beginning it's always hi, the name if I know the name, and it's always signed kind regards Michael or best wishes Mike. I make the email concise and easy to read. I get to the point, but there's the profile picture, and the profile picture helps. People are still a little bit wary that you could be anyone. When you're in conversation with someone on the internet, they don't know if you're some kind of sociopath. So if you've got a profile image, it's going to help. If they can click through to a website of yours where you've written a few blog posts and they get that sense that, yeah, this guy's legit, he's a real person, I can deal with this guy, and he's not going to start on some kind of weird level with me and run off with my money or something. This represented a bit of a milestone in my career, because just the way that things were handled. I had to send the invoice to another member of his team, and the invoice was paid very quickly, and I was charging hourly at a rate that I hadn't really charged hourly before for a big, large chunk of work. So it really helped to boost my confidence. I got to know the guy, we added each other on LinkedIn, he gave me a good recommendation on LinkedIn, he reached out to me a year and a half later asking, hey, how are things going? And this is another important thing, is to keep the relationship going. I'll reach out to him maybe 6 months to a year's time, say, hey, how are things going? And he may ask me a question. He knows it's like a case of I'll scratch your back, you scratch mine. So he knows that he can ask me a question and I'm going to help him, because he's helped me out in my career. So when I reach out to him asking, hey, how are things going? It gives him an opportunity that he might not be able to always pick up the phone and talk to a developer. So when you're helping people out on the forums, some of these people, they like, at this company, he may not have been the person that was in charge of the budgets for the company and what money gets spent where. But 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line, he may have his own Fortune 500 company. And someone asks him, hey, have you got a web guy? He's like, yeah, I've got a web guy. It's Mike, you should speak to Mike. Or if he needs help, he's going to think, right, I trust Mike. I know he's a good guy. I'm going to reach out to him. Hey Mike, we want to build this app. We've got a budget of 120k. We're going to leave you in charge of that. You can hire your own designer, your own copywriter, social media marketing team. Don't be just a fly on a wall voyeur. Comment, get to know people. That is how I would suggest you begin to stack the deck in your favor. I already know a few of you are onto this, because I'm conversing with you in the YouTube comments and off of the YouTube. Some of you, we're having conversations on Twitter, and some of you have even worked your way into my inner circle, and I'm considering hiring you for positions at the agency I'm working for. I was in two minds as to whether to put that across on a YouTube video, because I don't want like an influx of emails of people asking for, you know, Mike, have you got any work for me? I do my best to help out where I can, but I think you get the general picture. So the other thing that came through is that one of the reasons why he trusted me was because I was always upfront with what I'm capable of. He had one project for me which involved a database, and I said, look, I really don't have any experience with databases. I have a general idea of what would be involved, but I don't want to put myself forward for this project in particular. And he respected that, because I'm not wasting anybody's time. It's okay to admit that you don't know something, especially when it involves something like a database. So I've put myself forward for projects, as you well know, where, okay, I didn't understand fully how CSS floats worked, but I was confident that I could knuckle down and find the answers somewhere on Google, on Stack Overflow, and what have you. So you gotta find the right balance there, I think. So that's pretty much what I learned. Most of it was in terms of project management, what I learned, forming alliances and building relationships and that kind of thing. In the next video, client number 5, we're going to talk about it. He was a fitness instructor. He's actually a friend of mine. So we'll get into that in the next video. Hope you got something from this one. Listen, thank you so much, all of you, for your support and your encouragement. That's what keeps me going. If I ever one day I'm able to do this for a living, that's fantastic. If I can support myself financially via videos and teaching and mentoring, that's great. But your feedback, knowing that it's impacting upon your life, that's what drives me forward. So thank you very much for that. You're an inspiration for me. I'll leave it there. I'll catch you next week. Enjoy your weekend. Take it easy. Peace.